Right.
And I've worked at games at a AAA studio. But Goop
Yeah.
Loop was a game that was part of the Ludum Dare Game Jam. The theme
Mhm.
was stuck in a loop, and I thought, well, why not take that literally and have a goop that sticks to a loop, and then you use physics to kind of navigate that around. So I had already started Fist of the Forgotten and been working on that for a while, and then I did Goop Loop as a Ludum Dare entry, and people seemed to like it. And I was like, well, why don't I spend a few weeks polishing that up and get it out and kind of go through the experience of releasing a game on Steam, so that hopefully I can learn from that and not completely botch the release of one of my big projects that I've been working on for years. And so yeah, I learned some things from that. One of the key things is don't rush the release. Give it some time to build up wish lists and stuff. Um, but it was a small project, so it's learning experience. But yeah, that one's out there if anybody wants to play it. I believe the term some people use for it is funstrating. It's fun, but it's also frustrating. It's kind of a Bennett Foddy style game if you're familiar with getting over it, and just
Apparently
dealing
the
with
proper name for this is Fumblecore.
Fumblecore. Interesting. I hadn't heard that one. I've heard Fodian
At
as
least,
the.
at least specifically when the fact that the controls are awkward is like a lot of
Oh
the
yeah,
point.
gotcha.
Yeah, and Fodian is another term. I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah,
I can see that Fumblecore.
yeah. And as it turns out, we reviewed this Goop Loop game some years ago. Couldn't tell you what we said about it because it was years ago, but it's in our
Yeah,
archive.
I saw your name and I was like, that seems familiar. I wonder if they did. I think they did a review of Goop a long time ago.
Yep. I pulled it out in the archives and posted it on the Discord for anyone who's interested. But you got to understand, we go through so many we go through like 4 games a week. So, couple that with the age of the game, things get forgotten.
Yeah.
So, anyway, moving forward, it looks like we got the kook footage working, so we can finally go back to that. Like,
Cool.
I suppose the first question here is, what is kook? As in not just the term, the genre, but who are you? What are you doing? Who are you shooting? That kind of deal.
Well, the term kook is kind of an archaic term for a crazy person, and kook is like a Quake-like game, so it has a lot of Lovecraftian influence. And one of the big themes of Lovecraftian lore is insanity or madness, things like that. So the general gist of kook is that you were crazy to begin with. Everyone's calling you a kook, but you had been researching the ancient ones and stuff, and you knew that the ancient ones were returning, and people were just calling you a kook, like some crazy guy. But then, when the ancient ones do return, now they're all consumed by madness, and they start becoming cultists and summoning otherworldly beings and stuff like that. And so, for you can't really lose your sanity if you never had it to begin with. So you are still of, I won't say sound mind, but of the same mind kind of that you had before. And you're like, I got to clean up this mess. So, you pick up your revolver, kick open the door, and start shooting things. Try to clean up the world.
Typical Tuesday morning.
Exactly. Tuesday, ain't it?
Yeah, sounds like the perfectly rational behavior of a crazy man. Like, so with that in mind, I suppose my next question is, how Lovecraftian does this get?
So I've got a mix of stuff where, I've got some things that are literally from Lovecraftian lore, where I've tried to design enemies based on some Lovecraft descriptions, like the Migo, which is like this fungal creature that has wings that, it's kind of like this pink fungal creature. So I tried to go off of the actual like Lovecraft descriptions and make something that goes off of the words and not necessarily like a lot of people's interpretations, because I look at a lot of interpretations of the Mi-Go, and it's like that's not quite how it's described. But what I made is probably also not how Lovecraft envisioned it. But it's hard to say because I went off the descriptions, and it's like they have. I know their head changes color to kind of communicate. So I've got some stuff set up to where their heads will glow different colors and stuff. And then there's some other stuff that is just sort of like, I don't know, it just is super creepy, interesting looking that I've come up with. And then there's also some steampunk stuff as well. So some of the enemies are like robots, kind of steampunk robot type things. So it's sort of a mishmash of steampunk and Lovecraft and kind of the Quake aesthetic as far as the art style goes.
So, there's some Nikola Tesla in here as well.
Yeah.
And how long have you been working on Kook?
So Kook started out as a side project. I was working on Fist of the Forgotten primarily, and then I was working on Kook, I don't know, it was like once a week or so. But I am on day number 591, but those are not consecutive days. So it's been at least 3 years, I think, of actual time. But like I said, it started out as a side project, and as I was kind of getting traction with that and I had a more specific target audience, then I realized that seemed to be a better approach. So then I switched over and made Kook my primary project, and then Fist of the Forgotten became my secondary project. I don't want to abandon it, but I'm getting a lot better traction with Kook, so I think I'm probably going to finish that one up and release it first, and then finish Fist of the Forgotten. Who knows when?
Well, I suppose a pertinent question here is, what is the state of completion, development, or what have you? Like, where is Fist of the Forgotten?
So, Fist of the Forgotten it always feels like it's about 20% done. It's probably more than that now. I mean, maybe about halfway or so. But it feels like the more I work on the project, the more I see there is to do. And it's like, the to-do list seems to always get longer instead of shorter. But there's still a lot of content I want to develop for that and cutscenes and stuff. So most of the core stuff is there. Like, it's got a pretty solid demo, and I feel like the gameplay is pretty fun, but I need to build a lot more levels and cutscenes and kind of lore and stuff to help draw the player in and build a connection with the game, and not just have it be a series of levels that you don't have any idea what's going on.
Fair enough. And I suppose, with that in mind, it might be good to describe what Fist of the Forgotten is to the audience, beyond by just saying it's a platform.
Right. So Fist of the Forgotten, first of all, it has a very strong like silhouette aesthetic. A lot of people compare it to Limbo, but it's actually 3D. The assets are 3D, but I make it look kind of 2D. So it controls like a 2D platformer. It's like a 2.5D platformer. But the assets are 3D, but the stuff in the foreground is like solid black. And as things fade off into the background, they usually fade to kind of like a bluish color. And it kind of gives this aesthetic that it's like, it looks kind of like it's 2D, but it looks like it's 2D with like really, really strong parallax effects going on because it's actually full 3D backgrounds. And there's a huge focus on momentum. So a lot of platformers have very binary controls. It's like you just go, you press forward, you're moving at a set speed. Fist of the Forgotten, you can slide down a slope, and then you can use gravity to kind of build up momentum, and you can jump to maintain that momentum. And then later on, you get this big mechanical fist, which can be used for combat and mobility. So you can use the fist to punch in directions and give you a little boost of mobility. You can actually punch the walls and punch yourself off of those. And then there's different upgrades that you'll get for the fist. to let you do things like a charge attack and wall hangs and wall jumps and grapple swinging. So as the game progresses, you get more and more tools to be able to navigate through the levels, and you can really kind of build up a lot of momentum and start flinging yourself around. And it's a lot like it's a lot faster paced. I'm struggling to find uh, a game to compare it to.
Oh, I
Like
got it.
I
The
mean, you
end,
guys might compare it to Sonic, or
the end series.
yes, actually, yeah, the N series definitely has a lot of momentum. I'm trying to make something that's a little more story based than the N
Right.
games. Like N++
Mhm.
and those kind of games were just like a bunch of small levels that were
Right.
like nail bitingly difficult. I'm trying to make it not quite so difficult, but that's one thing I've learned in game development is games always seem to end up more difficult than you design them to be because people playing the game for the first time don't know all the mechanics inside and out like you do as the game developer. So that's why it's very important to get playtests. So if anybody wants to try out the Fist of the Forgotten demo and provide feedback, there is a feedback form like right in the game. So you can just hit escape and go to feedback and type something in. It'll send me the feedback and along with your player location. So if you're like, I got stuck in this spot, it's way too hard, or I didn't know what to do, then I can go in and try to figure out how to make that a little more obvious what to do or whatever. Try to digest that feedback and make it into a better game.
And how long ago was that demo put onto Steam?
Oh, it's been a while. I don't remember the exact date. Yeah,
Okay.
I've had it up for a while, and I've been kind of iterating on it as time goes on. So I've gotten a lot of good feedback. People have pointed out some good things and some bugs and stuff that I was not aware of. So I'm really glad I put that feedback system in there, and I appreciate the people that have submitted the feedback. Unfortunately, it's anonymous, so unless you put your name or something in there, I don't know who submitted the feedback. But those of you who have submitted feedback, if you're listening to this, thank you.
Indeed. And speaking of demos, I am wondering here if the Kook demo that we are showcasing here is going to go public here soon.
It is going to go public this year, hopefully. I'm working out with an event, but I don't want to announce just yet because I don't know if I can disclose that information just yet.
Probably.
But hopefully, yeah, hopefully there will be a demo before too terribly long.
Okay, good to know.
Got
Good to know.
to be nice and vague about it.
No, we get
Ideally,
it.
at some point in the next 12 months. That should
I'm
be
like,
vague enough.
I mean, I could make some guesses, but you wouldn't be able to confirm. So
Right.
it's more a keep an eye out.
Yeah.
And I suppose on that note, I'll turn it over to my colleagues here to see if they have any further questions for you.
I've just been over here enjoying the Kook demo, so there is that at least.
I think I'm good.
All right. So yeah, I want to thank you for taking time out of your schedule and being with us here today. It's been a lovely conversation, and I, for one, have enjoyed what I've seen so far out of Kook and Fist of the Forgotten, and hopefully those games are well on their way to completion. So
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, and if
indeed.
anybody's ever curious about kind of what goes on behind the scenes, I live stream development, which I'm actually streaming right now on
Mhm.
twitch.tv/Jitspoe. And I work on Kook through Monday through Thursday, and then do a Fist of the Forgotten Friday stream. So as I get closer to maybe the demo or release of Kook, I may not have as much time to work on Fist of the Forgotten. But like I said, I don't want to abandon the project. But I can't dedicate too much time to it if I want to get Kook done at some reasonable point. I got to get a game out at some point, a bigger game than
Yeah.
Goop Loop, so that I can actually get some money to keep doing the game dev thing.
Right. No, that is very understandable. Like, on that note, the games are Kook and Fist of the Forgotten. They both have Steam pages right now, and Fist of the Forgotten does have a demo available. Point is, be sure to go and wishlist both today.
Yeah, and Goop Loop as well. You can actually buy that one. That one's
Mm.
that one's actually done.
Yeah, Goop Loop is retailing for $3.99 right now, so you can go and pick that up. And Petty, play us to the next segment. All right, so welcome to the topic of discussion. So this week, we are talking about, kind of surprisingly, the Virtual Boy. Mainly because I did not know my colleagues had such a deficiency in Gen 3 Pokemon knowledge.
I could talk about it, but Pettyfan doesn't want to. I just didn't.
Well, no,
do
it's
that
more.
much.
Yeah, it's more Petty didn't play any of Gen 3, so it's very thin compared to other.
I don't know what gen he was born during.
I started with Gen 2, but I missed Gen 3 because of not having a 3D or having a GBA.
Okay, yeah, I just Gen 3 is the one that I fell through the cracks on.
Mm.
Yeah.
I did play Fire Red and Leaf Green a little, but not a lot.
So instead, we're talking about the Virtual Boy, which is shockingly relevant. I guess I would be saying that any year that the games started showing up on the NSO Nintendo Classics, because prior to their announcement, I don't think anyone was ever expecting the Virtual Boy to be ever revisited by Nintendo.
Oh no, yeah, everyone was thinking it was dead and buried. You know.
Well, it's not only that, but there was actually a call, like maybe not a strong call, but there was definitely a call to bring the Virtual Boy games to the 3DS.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it would have worked there.
Right. But for whatever reason, Nintendo did not do that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, your guess is as good as mine. Like, Nintendo is Nintendo.
Well,
they will do or not do things that will confuse the shit out of everybody but them.
it certainly wasn't Power, because there are some third-party Virtual Boy emulators that are pretty good.
Right. Like, I'm just saying Nintendo never bothered with that. Like, but that's why the Virtual Boy showing up on the Nintendo Classics. Not only that, but they are very committed to replicating the original experience.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, over the cries.
Hence the instead of doing a controller remake, they're doing a
Now,
either cardboard or plastic headset thing.
They really
Yes.
want you to get the plastic one.
I guess, but you can play it with just well enough with the cardboard one.
Well, you figure it's
Like-
like $5 in plastic. They're selling for what, almost $100?
Yeah, the plastic reproduction is going for 100 bones. The cardboard is going for $20.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently it is compatible in the sense that, you know, the Nintendo Labo stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
apparently
no,
you
there
can
is-
also use a Labo.
It reuses some of the pieces from the
Mhm.
Labo VR thing.
That being said, it's not fully compatible, if only because it's Virtual Boy's on the Nintendo Switch 1 and 2, and the Nintendo Labo stuff was made for the Nintendo Switch 1.
Mhm.
So if you've got a Nintendo Switch 2 and the Labo gear, you can't really put those together. Like,
Right.
I guess you could, but, you know, it's not going to fit. Like, though I will say it is disappointing that Nintendo did not go full bore and make a Virtual Boy controller. replica.
Yeah, the Virtual Boy controller is actually fairly unique. It has
Yes.
what, 2 buttons on
It's
one
mirror
side,
image.
but yeah, it has a D-pad on either side
Yes.
as a sort of predecessor to the idea of dual sticks.
Yes. No one's entirely sure why Nintendo did it that way. And also the buttons. Like the buttons are a weird misstep. Because okay, the select and start and A and B, they're both the same shape.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
And it's-
just select and start are on the left half of the pad, and A
Right.
and B are on the right half.
So if you don't know the Virtual Boy, then you might not know the problem. But the thing is, the Virtual Boy is this big old set of goggles that you can set on a set of feet. But not you don't have to put it on that. You can have the goggles off of it, and I guess theoretically strapped to your head. But the point is, you're looking into
It's a little bit heavy, is my understanding, even with the battery pack being attached to the controller and not the headset.
Yes, honestly, the optimal way to play it is on your back. I mean, it's as optimal as the Virtual Boy gets, which is not very. But the point is, the buttons are the same shape, they feel the same, and you're looking into a pair of goggles. You can't feel what button is what.
You can't feel it. It's not hard, especially if it's strapped to you. Look at what you're pressing. So if you don't know it by muscle memory,
Yeah,
that's
they
gonna
had a
suck.
solution for this on the Super NES.
Yes.
Which
I
is
suppose
have one button be slightly concave and one button be slightly convex.
Yeah. I suppose it is mitigated by the fact that there just aren't that many buttons. It's working with a set of 4 versus what you had on
two face buttons, 2 utility face buttons, and shoulder triggers, single. Or shoulder buttons, really.
Yeah, we were still a bit before triggers. You would have had shoulder buttons. The NES.
What year was it?
It was 1995.
So
I'm like,
just before PlayStation.
Yeah, but even so, the Super Nintendo gave the world shoulder buttons.
They did, but I imagine for putting something in a handheld, they probably wouldn't have enough room for the mechanism for a shoulder button.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, the point is, they did not replicate the controller, but how do I put this? Very few games took advantage of the control scheme. Now, granted, it's mainly it could be because they didn't have time to, because the Virtual Boy's lifespan was very short.
Yeah, very few games took advantage of the control scheme because there were very few games made.
Right.
Well, even of the games that were made, there weren't and not many like 6. The reason why you want 2 D-pads on a VR type thing is for 6 Degrees of Freedom games, where you have one that's either one that's forward, back, strafe, left, and right, and one that's look up, down, left, right, or one that's like move up, down, left, right, or
and
whatever.
as it so happens, the Virtual Boy does have that exact game called Red Alarm.
Yeah, it does have one, maybe 2. It has at least one proper flying fighting game. Although
there are 2 games that really take advantage of the Virtual Boy's control pad. That is Red Alarm, and the other is Telro Boxer. Like the the other games, at least in terms
AKA
of
Punch-Out, but with robots.
Yeah. And
that was one of the ones that always looked really cool when I saw. I was very interested in the Virtual Boy coverage in Nintendo Power for the 3 issues where they were talking about it.
Right. Now, full disclosure, my brother had a Virtual Boy, so I actually do have extensive knowledge of the Virtual Boy. Not every game, like we didn't have we didn't have Jack Brothers. I think that that's the biggest game that
That
was
one
not
was
in the
super
house.
rare, I believe.
It was super rare, but I do remember seeing it. Like I do remember seeing at a KB Toys, I think, where the Virtual Boy in every North American release was being sold. Like, all 14 games in this laminated pack. Like,
Mhm.
just we already had several of the games, so it didn't get picked up. And nobody really knew that Jack Brothers was attached to a Japanese only franchise that had just made a debut with this game.
Yeah, in
Like,
fairness, Jack Brothers is very tangentially Megami Tensei related.
I wouldn't say it's tangentially, given that it's starring the literal mascot
It features Jack Frost and Jack Lantern and Jack the Ripper, who then didn't show up again until like fucking Shin Megami Tensei 4. But the context of Shin Megami Tensei, where it's about people summoning demons and dealing with a modern apocalypse, is very much not present.
Right. This is still considered to be the debut of the franchise in North America. And it's a weird footnote, but there it is. And apparently Jack Brothers is, it is the second best Virtual Boy game. I think I can say that with a fair amount of certainty, because if you talk to anyone who has experience with the majority of the Virtual Boy's library, what's the first game that they're going to talk about?
Also, it definitely has a small enough number that you can actually tier list all of them pretty easily.
Right, but the point is, 9 times out of 10, and the 10th one is usually going to be Jack Brothers here, is going to be Virtual Boy Wario. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, Virtual Boy Wario Land. I've watched D-Pad Rick play that for his All the Wario's thing, and that is a legitimately really good platformer.
Yes.
Mostly a lot of the other games are, I mean, kind of trying to find their footage with being in 3D and dealing with the virtual VR
it's
viewpoint.
also, yeah, it's also both Jack Brothers and Virtual Boy Wario Land are actual games. They're full fat. Say
Whereas
Mario.
Galactic Pinball is it's pinball.
It's pinball.
And Wario Tennis, and the Mario Tennis game it's tennis with VR, and the Mario game is like a
Mario
3D a slightly elaborate 3D version of not Super Mario Brothers, but the original Mario Brothers.
Right. Basically, short arcadey games. Something that was comparable to the early days of the NES. As opposed to, once again, Virtual Boy Wario Land, it's a fairly short platformer. It's fairly easy too, but it is still a full experience. It's something that you would expect for the time period. As opposed to, either, the short arcade games, or let us call Red Alarm what it actually is, a tech demo. Like, it's ditto like Tellro Boxer. Like, these things are really here to showcase what the Virtual Boy can do. And I don't just mean the 3D effects, the whole 3D game for a 3D world. What people do not understand about the Virtual Boy, and when they say, like Virtual Boy Wario Land could be done on the Game Boy, conceptually you may be right, but technologically, no. Like, the Virtual Boy is actually really powerful.
Hmm.
Like, it's
Just
probably the
uses
most
a lot of that for doing depth.
right, but like, um, it is a 32-bit system, whereas the Game Boy is a barely functional 8-bit thing,
Hmm.
and
The Virtual Boy is kind of limited based on the color thing
yeah,
that was ultimately a uh,
Motion sickness death trap for someone,
motion
especially
sickness.
like
And,
me.
well, no, it was ultimately a cost saving thing in production, I
Mhm.
believe.
yeah.
Well, remember,
It,
this is
But it
95
probably
we're
does also
talking
help to keep
about.
it
Color
simple.
LCDs didn't exist.
Well, also, and there's a reason why the switch mode for it allows you to change the color,
Yeah.
as
yeah.
long as you take out the red filters if you get the
Well,
physical.
like, it's because red LCD technology was, pretty cheap even in the
Mhm.
90s.
Because it was
Right.
either that or they put a CRT in there and you couldn't strap that to your head if it had a CRT in there,
No,
or that you'd break your neck.
no, color LCD technology did exist at that point in time. It's just it was really
Yeah,
expensive.
yeah. When I say color LCD didn't exist, it was for the consumer space.
Mhm.
They were very big. You couldn't have strapped that on something you would be putting on your head. Similar to like CRTs, it would be so heavy, it would literally break your neck.
Let's
Yes.
see. We got 2 different Tetrises, pinball, golf, Mario Brothers, tennis, bowling,
Yeah.
Space Invaders, another bowling.
Yeah, there are 2 bowling titles. There's 1.5 Tetris titles. Okay, so V Tetris, that is a good and proper Tetris game. I think if you want to claim that that game can be done on a Game Boy, absolutely true. Like, whereas you look at Virtual Boy Wario Land, you see the size of the sprites, you see the fluidity, you see everything in motion. There's no fucking way you're doing that, even on a Super Nintendo. Um, that is a game that really highlights the true graphical prowess, monochrome graphics aside, of the Virtual Boy.
Oh, and
Um,
Adam, how could we forget Waterworld?
yes, one of the
Please.
2 licensed games on the Virtual Boy. I guess 2.5. It depends on how you want to see Innsmouth.
Hmm.
Like,
I don't think you need to license Lovecraft. That's pretty freaking.
right.
Was it in public domain in
I was
95,
about to
Jack?
double check.
Yeah. But it is something that directly name checks one of Lovecraft's works. Even if it isn't very Lovecraftian, since it's like a weird FPS thing.
Mm.
Um, yeah, don't have any familiarity with the actual game. Trying
Wasn't
to
that
think,
like
like,
one of the rarer ones?
it was rare and it was also Japanese only.
Yeah.
That isn't to say I did not see Japanese Virtual Boy games sold over here.
Yeah, because
Like, I actually
for
did see.
reference, Virtual Boy was one of the few Nintendo consoles that was region free.
Yep. Um,
Shadow
handheld
over
like
Innsmouth entered the public domain in 1965, apparently,
Mm.
since they did not renew it.
um, I guess that also goes for Japan. Like, do keep in mind that public domains differ from country to country.
Mhm.
Like,
Well, yeah.
yeah. Um, but yeah, Waterworld and SD Gundam are the 2 licensed games.
Hmm.
Waterworld's the American, SD Gundam is Japanese, and they are both considered to be 2 of the worst Virtual Boy games. I cannot say they are the worst virtual game with God, what is it, Virtual
They are
Lab?
both trying to be actual games. Like, the reason why I brought up the full list of Virtual Boy games is to look at the ones that are like, okay, this concept is not one of the like very basic early initial video game concepts that you try out for like every new platform.
Yeah.
I'm shocked that there isn't a Mahjong on here, but I guess they couldn't think of a way to make the 3D interesting enough.
No, I can absolutely tell you why Mahjong isn't here. Readability.
Oh yeah, God no.
Like, can
I
you imagine?
tried one of the Game Boy Mahjongs, and oh God, I
Yeah, I'm
couldn't
about to say,
imagine that on the Virtual Boy.
yep.
Mhm.
Like, I am absolutely not surprised that a Mahjong game, like maybe if the system had lived more than like 7 months, that would have happened. But I can absolutely see why nobody attempted it here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I suppose other noteworthy games are Panic Bomber. Probably the highest profile thing that isn't licensed.
That's the Bomberman one, right?
Yeah, that's the Bomberman puzzle game. And I think this might have been the only version of Panic Bomber that we got over here. I'm genuinely not sure if we got the Neo Geo version.
Yeah, there's a couple of other falling, like there's that. Apparently, there's a Japan exclusive one too. That's a falling block puzzle.
Virtual Lab, generally considered to be not only the worst Virtual Boy game, but one of the worst games of all time. Like, it's pretty awful from all those who've actually played it. It's also like one of the rarest Virtual Boy games, though the rarest is the Virtual Boy bowling game from Athena. Like, that game is like basically an investment portfolio for your collecting needs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it is like literally the most expensive game being brought to the Nintendo Classics. And I suppose we should talk about the Nintendo Classic rollouts in terms of the game library. And like, Nintendo is going about it as far as I think they could have gone.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they don't have every game here, and like, it's not a surprise
but they have plans to.
Yeah, with a few
Except
exceptions.
for maybe Nestor's Funky Bowling.
Yeah, that's one of the big question marks. I think it's because there might be issues related to the character of Nestor himself. Some unknown rights issues that might be preventing. You know, like in the case of, say, Waterworld, I mean, obviously there are the not just the licensing right issues, it's a question of who actually owns the game, because this was put out by Ocean of America.
Mm-hmm.
Which was absorbed by Infogrames, now Atari, but also Atari sold off a whole bunch of their games like about 10 years ago or so. And point of order, Waterworld could be owned by Pico Interactive, like the actual game.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as SD Gundam Dimension War, I can see why this one didn't get picked up, because, okay, we know who the licensor is.
Yeah.
It's Bandai Namco, but it's also a game with a ton of Japanese text. That's why Virtual Fishing is getting a Japanese release, but not a Western release.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a ton of Japanese text in it.
Mm-hmm. And this
You know,
was
as
back in
opposed
the
to-
era.
But they are also releasing a couple, at least one game that was never actually released.
Two.
Yeah, I
They
was
are-
gonna say I thought it was two, but I couldn't remember what
Yeah.
the other one is.
Well, there were a number of Virtual Boy games that were completely done, or at least like 95% done, but completely shit canned because, well, the Virtual Boy utterly collapsed, and there was literally no market for it. Like, and that is the games Dragon Hopper and G0, or as they're going to be known on the Nintendo Classics, D Hopper and Zero Racers.
Mm-hmm.
And this is actually, like, I think the first time since Star Fox 2 that we're getting this completed game getting released in modern times from Nintendo. There are a couple of other Virtual Boy games in this situation. Japan Supply Systems Bound High and River Hill Soft's Nico-chan Battle, Faceball 2000. And we know these games were completed because those two got leaked. You can actually play like Bound High on a Virtual Boy emulator.
But yeah,
Dragon
I remember reading Dragon Hopper in one of the previews of coming Virtual Boy games, and it looked really cute and interesting, and then it evaporated because the Virtual Boy evaporated.
Dragon Hopper. This is going to be the first time we see it, and it's like I said, it's a rarefied occasion to see games like this get put out into the wild. There were some other games that were in development, some probably surprising ones that either didn't get past the demo phase, such as Virtual Boy Mario Land. Like they were at one point, there was a demo of a proper Mario game shown off at like CES, but I don't think that ever made it past the demo phase. And Nintendo showed off some screenshots of games like GoldenEye. They were having a GoldenEye game made for the Virtual Boy. It was going to be a car
that's
game.
not
Fun
getting.
fact, the Virtual Boy did have a link cable.
Yes. It was going to have a link cable, but it never got released.
Yeah.
Okay, the Virtual Boy was designed with link cable functionality.
Yeah. There was going to be a port of all things Donkey Kong Country 2 to the Virtual Boy.
Ugh.
Yeah. So, basically...
That would have been hard to pull off. That is a very graphics game.
I'm like... Probably one of the reasons why I didn't get too far in development. But, the point is, Nintendo did have a lot of plans for the Virtual Boy that just got absolutely obliterated by the very quick collapse of the system. Which, if you look at it, if you know anything about the Virtual Boy, you're not surprised that this thing fell flat on its fucking face. But the question might be, why was the Virtual Boy released at all?
They thought it was a good idea.
Yeah. And also they needed something to fill in the gap left by the delay of the Nintendo 64. Kind of gets forgotten today that the Nintendo 64 was supposed to come out in 1995. It actually came out like a whole year after.
Yeah, and the Virtual Boy was supposed to be its partner system, like the Game Boy had the Super Nintendo.
Yeah. So how do I put this? I suppose like I said, I'm still stunned that Nintendo is going as far as they are with the Virtual Boy. Like I said, technically they could trawl through the archives, find out who owns Virtual Lab, work out whatever issues with Nestor's Funky Bowling.
Well,
but
I think
also
you kind of hit on part of the reason why they're not going deeper is finding out who owns this stuff.
Yeah, it's
a lot of these older studios, mergers, acquisitions, dischargings.
Yeah.
If you want more information on why this sucks, let's go grab Steve and he'll probably bitch for another 3 hours.
Yeah, I mean, anyone who works in the classic space, let's call it, we could get Digital Eclipse.
Oh yeah.
If the schedule could lighten up. I would like for that to happen, but they're just getting busier and busier.
Right.
Anyway, So I think that'll about do it for the Virtual Boy here. And indeed, that'll do it for this installment of Fragments of Silicon. Coming up on the week ahead, as previously mentioned, we do have a new episode of Moonhawk Studios Presents coming up in a little bit. And coming up on Friday, March 6th, we'll be welcoming Demetria Papacosta of CRG Studio, and we'll be talking about their free-to-play arena action RPG, Crystal Fall. So look forward to that. And coming up on the Sunday reviews, we'll be having impressions of Gadonia 2 and reviews of Poker Night at the Inventory, Steel Century Groove, and The Real Face of a VTuber. So until next time, I shall wish you good gaming.
All right, and we are clear.
I think that went well.
Indeed. Thanks for anybody who hung around for us yapping about the Virtual Boy. We will be moving over to the MS Presents channel in a little bit. Right now, we're just kind of sit and hang out. Let me see if I can bring up my PlayStation.
Mm.
Do a little bit of racing. Because I can do that. Hey Ripsaw, where are you at?
I'll be back. I gotta go get something.
And
from
Kevin's
Dad.
signaling for his signal. So
Alrighty, we do have Sonic Racing Crossroads. Yay. I almost wanted to put Crossroads in. No, it's not that. Hello, Kevin.
Hello.
Oh, we do have audio. Hooray. Ugh.
Is that in regards to me or?
Oh, no, the capture device. I was wondering if that was working or not.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to be playing some Sonic Racing while we're waiting on Mac.
Ah, gotcha.
Mac.
All right, let's take off. Can do. We both have tremendous skills and a ways to go until we've mastered them. Let's put each other to the test. Smooth sailing. That's it. Smooth sailing. I did When did you get there?
Galactic Parade!
When did you get there? All just back for more action. See you next time.
Final lap!
Deploy now. Fire! Take that, metal. There we go.
Finish!
I did it! Did you see? Did you see? I can still fix this! Yeah, let's go! Yeah, I did it!
Final lap.
Yeah, I did it!
Finish.
Good job, everyone!
Still weird that they're still using the Force's, I guess, avatar characters. But I guess that does give them NPC options.
Right. So reminder, Petty, what you're going to need this week in terms of video is Mystic Knights of the Tyrannog, Episode 1, The Legend of the Ancient Scroll.
Okay. Let me finish this race and I will...
I mean, you don't have to do that
Yeah.
now, but yeah.
But I tried so hard! There we go!
Golden Temple.
What are you doing?
Is Kevin here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm here. And I came in a little bit earlier. I'm just not happy at this moment.
Duly noted.
I also just didn't even think to get the capture thing set up for Discord.
I'm trying to contrast that.
Finish.
I forget how many races are in a cup. I thought it was 3. I guess we'll find out when I reach the end, or Max goes. Oh, this is the final. Okay.
I can't lose.
Alright, I'm mostly back.
Congratulations. We're still waiting on Max.
Surprised.
I'm racing.
Okay, our guest is on her way.
All right.
Code 4.
When did you get there?
Hello.
Greetings.
Hang on. I think I need to adjust my settings a little bit.
All right.
There we go.
Yay.
Oh, I can hear you. How's it going?
Alrighty. Fine. We just got done with our other show, and we're currently just kind of waiting for our MC to show up.
Okay.
Final lap.
Oops. Actually, different.
Finish.
Not too shabby.
Alrighty. Yay, I
Did my
won.
best, though.
You are Wienar.
Mac has posted a new message.
Trying to get all my shit inside. Had to get some stuff while I was out.
Hmm.
I knew I could do it.
So there's that.
I mean, at least he didn't total another car.
Yeah.
At least
Yeah.
he's not in a ditch somewhere.
Yeah. Just didn't get lost.
You know, which has all happened.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, it has. Does our guest have a Blue Sky account? I'm about to post up a promo post.
Oh, yes, I do.
Alrighty.
Okay, could you you send it my way for me?
Sure. Grab the.
Alright.
link there.
So put the PlayStation to
Okay.
sleep while I get the things
Okay,
together.
hold on a second.
There you go.
Okay, there we go. Do-do-do-do-do.
All right.
Mhm.
Everything seems to have changed back over.
Do-do-do-do-do. Phew.
All right. Awaken the other OBS. No, I do not want to update that right now.
All right, the post is up on Blue Sky for your reposting pleasures.
Alrighty. Where is the buttons? Reposted.
Mhm.
All right. And now, what is going on over here? Okay. Fixed that. Uh, yes. Episode 9. All right. There it is. All right. So you said the Mystic Knight of Spirits, or?
Yeah.
All right. I'm not sure why you did that, YouTube, but okay. Oh, is this Power Rangers ripoff?
Yes.
Yeah, it's from the it was actually on Fox Kids. Yes, it was.
See,
I'll go into more.
Admittedly, at least trying Irish mythology was something.
Yeah.
Well, and I guess the thing is, I never had Fox Kids growing up. They decided
Mm.
to preempt it with some religious broadcasting thing.
Oh, you were you were
Midwest.
if I recall correctly. Yeah, I know. St. Louis specifically. I know the St. Louis Fox affiliate didn't want it, so they moved it over to a religious independent station for a
Kansas
hot
City
minute, and then they
too.
realized It happened in Kansas City.
Yep, because that's where
Huh.
we originally got our fox out of, is
Yeah,
from
that's
KC.
right. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh wow.
So yeah, they preempted us with some religious bull crap, so we didn't get the fun
Let's
stuff.
see.
We basically had somebody preaching to me about how I was going to hell.
Boy, yeah.
Riveting.
Hmm
I mean, I'll get into it a bit later,
Fox. Let's see.
and
Yeah.
probably doing some compare and contrast after this, and instituting the
Uh.
deep hurting.
Is it going to involve getting into the troubles, or?
No,
Thankfully not.
no. I'm like,
Huh.
I'm talking about a different Power Rangers ripoff.
Mm.
No, like, thankfully we're not going to be visiting that topic ever.
Yeah. Unless we ever get the drunk episode of us.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't plan on featuring drunk history. No.
Hmm.
It's just-
Yeah, Fox Kids in Kansas City. It is a very complicated, very more
Mhm.
complicated situation.
Very rage-inducing if you're not somebody who gave a crap about religion.
Yeah. Well, honestly, it's probably because of the case that when did you watch it? Like 98, 99 or so? Because see,
They're
what happened was
about
that St. Louis and Kansas City were the same thing in that they were part of that New World deal in '95.
yeah.
So, in Kansas City, that was WDAF Channel 4 that got the Fox affiliation, and all
Mhm.
the New World stations said, we do not want Fox Kids, period.
hmm
So, in Kansas City, it was on 62 KSMO,
hmm
and then eventually, about 2 years later, it moved over to the WB station, which then traded with KSMO.
hmm
After KCWB decided to become a UPN affiliate.
Yeah, I didn't actually get to watch stuff like Digimon until
Mm,
it moved over to ABC Kids.
mm, mm.
So yeah, I missed the prime era of Fox Kids because,
Yeah,
religious
affiliation
bullcrap.
funny, and might be because of the fact that it was owned by a little company you might know of called Sinclair.
hmm
Mm.
Believe me, I am very well aware of Sinclair's bullshit.
Yep.
Our knowledge base scares me sometimes.
Oh, my knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is it's one of those things that I'm most fascinated by is that
hmm
is the great television realignment of 1994 to 1996. Incoming.
Oh, Mac.
Good.
Incoming. He's green and he reposted. So
Oh man. He was not consumed. Uh, I want this one. Bring up this full screen trailer footage. That should already be fine. Fine enough for government work. All right. All right.
There.
Ah, he
There we
lives.
Yeah, just had to fight with Discord a little bit. It likes to get stuck when the computer boots up before the modem does.
Mhm.
Ah.
And I guess you weren't taken by the banjos.
There was gunfire in the background. I'll tell you all about it during the show, but
Yeah. Save it for the show, please.
Yeah. All right. So I guess I need to do the whole rigmarole of the move over.
Mm-hmm.
Help.
yep.
All right.
And as long as you guys have explained the rundown to our distinguished guest, then I
We
won't.
actually
I have not yet. Let me do the move over first, and then we can do the rundown. All right.
All right, I'll do it then, since you haven't done it already.
All right. I will handle the move over then. All right. Everybody who's in the Fragments chat, this chat is going to be spinning down for the evening, and we're going to be moving over to MS Presents. Once we go off air, I will start a raid over, so just sit tight and get ready to be moved over if you want to join us for the rest of the evening as we talk to our lovely guest. And yeah.
And
Hmm?
Kevin, I reposted you, so.
Yeah, I saw.
And to everybody who wanted to just peace out for the night, have a good evening and good gaming.